Hello, this is the El Salvador Guitar Man, and welcome to my first anime review. Today I'll be looking at Deadman Wonderland, an anime, a manga, a really great one. My overall, overall opinion is just how great it is. There's nothing bad I can say about it, unless I'm talking about the anime. Okay, I'll admit I love the anime. It's in my top it's one of my top lists, but it has its flaws because one, I'll tell you all the flaws in it, but in case you're planning on watching it. By the way, I would recommend the anime, yes, if you're probably not planning on reading the manga, but I did read and watch both. So, but yeah, some characters weren't in the show, to be honest. In some important characters, actually, there were like 3 important characters that they didn't portray in the anime that I would have loved to see, to be honest. And basically, it was only to advertise the manga, which is a good advertisement if you ask me. That's how great it was. But I'm gonna go back and forth between the manga and the anime. But I'm gonna talk about the manga now. It ended beautifully. There's no other way it could have ended. That's all that needs to be said. There's no other way. It ended perfectly, beautifully. You never expect it. But yeah, and overall the adventure too, within the arcs and stuff, it was amazing. I love the fights and the gore. The gore was great. I'm not that kind of person. If you think what do you think you're thinking? But yeah, it was a great gore anime. It was horror apparently. I didn't really find it that scary. Actually, the manga I would find a bit terrorsome. I was actually afraid at some points that some characters might have died. It's good characters that I really loved also. That's how great it was. It actually put the fear into me. A supernatural thing or what's it called? Suspense, that's what it was. It was very suspenseful. Like, you always think, oh no, what's happening, what's gonna happen? And then it just makes up for it. It's just that great. There's just nothing bad I can say about it. Like I said, except for the anime. But yeah, I would highly recommend to you to watch it. I've been rambling on about my opinion. I haven't even said what it's about. Okay. So Deadman Wonderland is about a teen named Ganta Igarashi who was wrongfully framed in the killing of all of his classmates. He was wrongfully accused, and for that he was immediately sent to this prison called Deadman Wonderland, thus the name. Over there, he faces challenges throughout the entire time he was there. Living, eating, especially. Also, here's the greatest thing about Deadman Wonderland is that this is what puts the fear into you and what you think about the characters. They have this collar, in case you haven't seen on the posters, if you're wondering what those collars are, it's basically your identity in that prison. And it injects poison into you. Injects poison into you. You're given this candy as the antidote for it, but it's super bitter. That's the challenge of Deadman Wonderland. To live, you have to eat this disgusting bitter candy as the antidote for that poison, which is really great. Actually, it improves the challenges one must face in there. The challenges of living, eating, you even fight in there. To be fighting and surviving in that prison is very difficult. I personally would probably never make it. Probably 3 months. 3 months, I say I would just give in and just die. That's how bad it is in there. But it's really horrifying. I'm just glad nothing like that exists. If that did exist, not only would there'd be news about it, but it's so terrifying. It was be the biggest conspiracy ever. Anyways, what else is there? I told you about the anime. I'll say everything wrong about the anime, but if you're planning on watching it, go right ahead. I would highly recommend it. It's in my top list, so you can trust me. So the anime had I'd say that I think I mentioned that it's advertising the anime, the manga. That's what the anime was for. But and I said about the characters. I think there are like 3 characters. In case I don't know, I don't know about my memory, but I have a pretty good memory. But anyways, there were like 3 characters that weren't portrayed in the anime that were very important. Actually, one of those characters were portrayed in the anime, but as a side character, and she was very important to actually, to be honest. Excuse me. What else is there? Oh, and it's only the first arc. The first arc of the entire story is the anime. That adds on to the advertising. But overall, it's a pretty good advertising if it's for that. That's what got me to read it. Like after I found out it's ongoing, I was waiting. I was waiting for it to finish before I started reading it. But I'm just like, oh, screw it. I'll just go ahead and read it. And I loved it. I started right at the beginning. And like, oh, I remember this part. I remember this part. Oh, who's this? Who's that? See, there were characters portrayed, even in the first arc in the manga, that weren't in the anime. But they should have. They should have. Actually, this is what I want them to do. I want them to do the same thing with Full Metal Alchemist, where they had Full Metal Alchemist, and then Brotherhood, where Brotherhood was really, really good, but the first Full Metal series was gone. It doesn't exist to me, because Brotherhood was really beautiful. Anyways, what I was thinking is that they redo Deadman Wonderland, but they start over from the beginning, like in Full Metal, where they include the important characters. They keep the same cast, of course, but they keep the character. They keep the beginning of the story. They go from there and up until the end of the manga. And that's what I would like to see, because yeah. But overall, I would give it, I would say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is a decent rating I would give to this, even though I ramble on how great it is. Yeah. But yeah, if you're starting to get into anime or reading a manga series, I would highly recommend Deadman Wonderland as probably your first supernatural or suspense or horror or gory one, because it would fit it perfectly. It would fit. Okay, here's this is a completely off topic, but I'm gonna say it. What I love about anime more than TV, than cartoons here in America, is the fact that they're well put. They might not have a plot. Yes, there are some animes where you have to turn your brain off, but they still fit perfectly. But yeah, they're connected. Usually, like shows here in America, they're not really connected that much. But over in Japan, they do amazing work with connection, even with animes that you have to turn your brain off and not take seriously. They always connect. That's what I love about Deadman Wonderland. Everything connected. Like something from the future was in the past. Something from the past came back in the future. It was just this roller coaster of excitement. I was so excited when it finished, and also very depressed. But yeah, 8 out of 10 is what I give this anime and manga series. If you want to read it, go right ahead. If you want to watch it, go right ahead and watch it. Actually, I would recommend you watch it before you read it, but it's up to you guys. Sorry for this, probably rushed thing. It's because this is my first time reviewing and doing something like this. I'll improve more in the future, but for now, subscribe, like, and all that, and I'll see you in the next one.